Hi there, my name is Max from World War III Gamer. In this video, we're going to be doing a quick introduction to anybody who's new to the Battlefield community on how to fly helicopters. Alright, so best thing to do is actually start off with an empty server. And how you do that, and this is instead of actually going to quick match, you go to server browser. Alright, and you want to find a map that's easy to fly in. So how you filter out your maps is by pressing the R3 button to the right clicker. And I usually North Shell Canals is the one that's easy to fly on. So let's look for an empty server on North Shell Canals. Seems like it's pretty saturated, so I'm gonna have to reduce the amount of maps on there. Also, go now. Conquest usually is easier, so. All right. Nothing so far. Here you go. I found one, but there seems to be people on there, so. Let me try this again. It seems like most servers are full today, so I believe this one has helicopter, but so we'll go ahead and try this one out here. So apparently I earned a bunch of trophies just for playing this level. So we're gonna go ahead and I guess we're gonna start off with an attack helicopter. I kind of want to do the scout instead, but I guess we're gonna have to do with this one for today. There you go. All right. So best thing to do is in a helicopter it has a couple controls. It has the throttle up and throttle down, which are usually your L2 and L1. I mean R1, R1 L and no L2 and R2. My apologies. All right. So essentially, the best thing to do is actually when you first trying to fly a helicopter is you just want to throttle up. So you just want to just make it simple at first and just throttle all the way up. And I think the best thing to do also when you're starting off with helicopters is actually just get high elevation. So you want to get up pretty high. And try not to do too much on there. And also you have the two thumbsticks. You have the right thumbstick and the left thumbstick. Your right thumbstick is your pitch and your roll, which is like up and down. And then you have your left thumbstick is your yaw, which is based essentially from turning right to left. And when you first get started, the best thing to do is, like I said, just try to keep your elevation up, and try not to get too close to the bottom, because the further you are to the bottom, the more possibilities you are crashing into something. As you get better and advanced in the game, you'll be able to fly like right through big buildings pretty easily, you know. But for now, we're gonna just keep it simple and just, like I said, just keep a high altitude in there. So, all right. So, first things first, it's always important to keep on holding your throttle button, but don't hold it all the way all the time, because your helicopter will naturally just start sinking to the floor. As you see right now, I'm not pushing anything. I'm not pressing anything, and it's just naturally just, just heading toward the floor. So now, if you want to say just continue to gain elevation, you will press throttle up, and that will get you to a higher altitude. And if you want to go forward, the best thing to do is actually press press up on your right thumbstick. So while at the same time throttling up. So you can see right now, I'm starting to gain speed as well. Now on your actual monitor, you have different gauges. On the very top right hand corner, it's your altitude. So right now I'm going about 87 miles. I'm about 82 feet above sea level, and then on your very top left hand corner, you have your speedometer. So we're going about 190 miles per hour at this point. So, and he's up their nose downward a bit. So we're headed about 168 miles per hour there. And the best thing to do is keep up a high elevation, just to try to avoid objects as much as possible. And usually I try to tell people to train in no-shot canals, but since there was no open servers available, I couldn't do it this time. So, and honestly, the Scout helicopter is actually a little bit harder to fly than the attack helicopter. So you might actually just want to start with the attack helicopter because it's a little bit easier to fly on. Right, so once again, your right thumbstick is your up and down, and then your left thumbstick is your left or right, which is called yaw in pilot terminology, avionics terminology. So, all right. So the next step to do actually would be to practice your landing. When you're let's say if you're flying by yourself and you're trying to get somebody to help you out and you see them on the floor, you could come and pick them up. Or if you're flying a scout helicopter, or you can go and pick up some of your crewmates. The easiest way I learned to just land your plane, your helicopter is just let it just sink by itself. Just let gravity just do it by itself, and then that's like the easiest way you could do it. I mean, it takes a long time, but you could actually land it, And usually I like to go on third-person view instead of, this is the first-person view, but I like to go on a third-person view because you can see make sure there's no objects around you. And in this case, there's nothing but snow, so it's pretty safe. And you see I just landed a helicopter, and that's essentially, I let gravity do most of the work. All I was doing is just pressing the left thumbstick from left to right. Now, as you get more advanced, you can actually start getting your helicopter up, and you can start landing your helicopter by pressing the throttle down and throttle up, but you don't want to press it very aggressively. You just want to just tap on it a little bit, as I see I'm doing right now, and you can just practice landing your helicopter in different locations. So you could go ahead here and just start landing somewhere else. So just kind of just practice just landing it, and he said just slowly just kind of tap on the throttle down button, which for me, I'm playing as left-handed, so it's L1. And you see how I took a little bit of damage there, actually. So yeah, you landed a little bit too rough. All right, so once you kind of start mastering the landing and the flying a bit, essentially, you want to start. You still want to using your rockets, your weaponry on there. And the helicopter, when you first start, is very simplistic. It only has just rocket pods. And that's pretty much there. And when you're on attack mode and when you're about to attack, the best thing to do is to switch to your first-person view. Attacking somebody from a third-person view, like in this situation right here, where it's very difficult. So you want to switch to your first person view instead, and you do that by clicking on the right thumbstick. You see, I'm just tearing up this building right now. There you go. And as you see, I'm getting closer to the floor because, like I said, as you progress in your pilot skills, you'll be able to just fly through inside buildings and cranes and all that kind of stuff. So um, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna be posting a video on more advanced tactics for helicopters on my next video. So you want to tune that into that. If you have any more questions, just go ahead and post it on our YouTube channel, and I'll try to reply to it on the next video. All right, and like I said, our YouTube channel is World War 3 Gamer, and we also have a news website that involves stuff about military hardware events that are going on around the world. It's called, and that's WorldWar3News.com. And we also have a YouTube for that page for that, which is World War 3 News, and it's essentially so. All right, my name is Max, and thanks for tuning in. And please don't forget to subscribe. Okay. Yes.